Welcome, my name's Cookie, and this game may be recorded for quality assurance. Here are the rules. Well, you know so much, let's get started. First up, thanks for the music. Okay. I wonder who that could be. Hold on a sec.
Singing Pangram!
What?
Singing Pangram!
Yeah, I don't know what a pangram is. Listen, I'm trying to do a game show here.
A game show? Well, all right then! Which of these is a singing pangram? My very eager mother just served us 9 pizzas. Kane, am I a maniac? The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Or flour, egg, milk, and butter. A pangram uses every letter of the alphabet at least once.
Right.
Would you like to send a return pangram?
Yeah. Okay, coming up with pangrams is hard. All right, send this message. Thank you for the pangram. It was very, I think that's every letter. Next up. Eureka! Say you die and go to heaven, and your special guest angel is Yuri Gagarin. How will he most likely show you around? On ice skates, riding giant chess figures, in a spaceship, or in the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile? Here's what you should have picked. Yuri Gagarin was the first person in space, other than God. Of course, before Yuri Gagarin, there was Albert the Rhesus Monkey. Now he greets all the dead monkeys in heaven in a spaceship. And up next... Nice moves, Big Dipper. And this one's a dis or dat. I'm gonna read off 7 names. For each one, I want you to tell me if it's the name of a constellation or someone who's been on Dancing with the Stars. If it's a constellation, press 1. If it's a dancing star, press 2. And to skip it, press... Oh, you already know how it works. Let's go. Coma Berenices, Apollo Ono, Canes Venaticide, Elio Castroneves, Edita Slavinska, Corona Ostrina, Leo Minor. Haha, looks like someone has 2 left buzzer fingers. You know, with those skimpy costumes, the women have to be really careful not to show their Ursa Majora. Now, coming up, a cookie or cookie. Which of these statements is true? Oscar Hammerstein won an Oscar, Tony Randall won a Tony, Emmylou Harris won an Emmy, or Graham Parsons won a Grammy. He didn't win a Felix Award either. And the correct answer is... Hammerstein is the only Oscar to win an Oscar. 2 of them, actually, for music. And Goldie Hawn won a Golden Globe, and Tim Rice won a year's supply of Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat. And now... It's a bird! It's a plane! No, it's a bird. If Nelly Furtado wrote a follow-up to her song I'm Like a Bird called I'm Like a Hummingbird, which lyric would be totally wrong? I'll only walk away, I'll only grow 6 to 12 centimeters in length on average, I'll occasionally fly backwards, or I'll display sexual dimorphism. You've got a one-track mind, my friend. Hey, look at this right answer over here. Because they do so much flying, hummingbirds have poorly developed feet that they aren't able to walk on. They also have poorly developed butts that they're unable to sit on. It's sad. And coming up next... Nate, I have something to ask you. And speaking of butts, you know, sometimes when I'm bored, I like to moon Nate through the glass window in my studio. It's hilarious. It really catches him off guard. And as a bonus, it really helps me air things out back there. Damn vinyl seat cushions. Anyway, I think I'll try it right now. If I want to flash a gibbous moon at Nate, what should I do? Pull my pants down to expose 25% of my moon? Pull my pants down to expose 50% of my moon? Pull my pants down to expose 75% of my moon? Or pull my... A gibbous moon is when 51 to 99% of the moon is visible, so exposing 75% of my moon would make it gibbous. I think I'll try it now. Hey, Nate! Check it out!
Oh, that reminds me. I picked up that ointment you wanted from the pharmacy today.
Right, thanks. And on its way. Well, somebody's in a hurry. Okay then, throw in some music and what do you get? There's only one way to go with this, the Great White Way. Break a leg. Well, I wouldn't quit your day job, or your night job, or your $1,500 a month from home job that really makes about $75 a month. You can't quit your volunteer positions, though.
You don't know Jack!
Hi, I'm Cookie, and I'm totally having... Wait, yeah, wow, Wait, oh yes, I totally remember this! Now the instructions. I'm gonna read you some... Okay, let's get it on. First up, Award of the State. I have to take a moment to get something off my chest. The winners of the Trivia Show Host Awards, otherwise known as the Quizzies, were announced this week. And... let me just say that if there was a trivia question about who won, anyone who answered Cookie Masterson would be wrong. But that's okay. I don't need to be validated by awards. Some of the greatest movies of all time never won an Oscar. Which of the following movies won an Oscar of any kind? The Shawshank Redemption, Saving Private Ryan, North by Northwest, or The Covenant? Where did your points go? Oh, they dug a hole through the wall behind this poster. Hey, look at this right answer over here. Although it didn't win Best Picture, Saving Private Ryan did just fine, walking away with 5 Oscars. I don't need 5 awards, just 1! Validate me! Validate me! And coming up next, Dan Marino. Suppose Miami Dolphins Hall of Fame quarterback Dan Marino is vacationing in San Marino. Where's the nearest dolphin? In the Adriatic Sea, in the Baltic Sea, in the Caribbean Sea, or in the Dead Sea? Here's what you should have picked. San Marino is a tiny country enclosed entirely by Italy. The Adriatic Sea, part of the Mediterranean, is the closest body of salt water where Dan Marino can find some fellow dolphins. Then he can head up north and find some fins. Next up, total horse. Oops, it's a this or that. I'm going to throw out 7 words. For each, I want you to tell me if it's an official term for the game of horseshoes or something Steve Miller calls himself in the song The Joker. You know, the Some People Call Me the Space Cowboy one. If it's from horseshoes, press 1. If it's from The Joker, press 2. And to skip, press 4. All right, then, don't let me keep you. Lover. Picker. Ringer, smoker, leaner, pitcher, midnight toker. Wow, you probably know what pompous of love means. I've actually been practicing my horseshoe pitching here in the studio using my microphone as the stake. I'll just demonstrate here. Ringer! And on its way. 4. Oh, it's another George Foreman grill. Thanks. If you were to get a Benjamin Franklin Z grill as a lovely gift, what should you grill on it? Nothing. It's the rarest stamp in the United States. Nothing. It's the most highly valued bicycle in the world. Nothing. It's an antique set of gold teeth worth $7.6 million. Or we... This would have been a good idea. There are only 2 of them, and they're the rarest stamps in the U.S. They're currently on display and heavily guarded at the National Postal Museum. Making it even more likely you'll get shot if you go into the National Postal Museum. Now coming up, 5. What not to wear around monsters. Say you're worried about being attacked by a chupacabra, the mythological goat sucker. What should you definitely not wear? A cotton pullover, a mohair sweater, Angora gloves, or... Yep, the Angora goat's fleece is commonly used to make clothes. But that's called mohair. Angora wool and fiber comes from rabbits, not goats. Ha! I got you! I totally got you! And the correct answer is... mohair comes from goats, so a chupacabra might get confused and try to, suck you. Which is why I personally wear mohawk sweaters, made from real mohawk hair plucked from live humans. And up next, notice there's no P in our ool. Say you're in a public bathroom at a concert hall and there's a sign that reads PP. What should you do? Use the facilities as fast as you can, do your business very quietly, only urinate or wash your hands thoroughly. You'll give yourself a hernia. Here's what you should have picked. In music, PP stands for pianissimo, which means very soft. It is a direction to play quietly. And in case you were wondering, yes, my pianissimo is very soft. And now... brace yourself for the attack. Oh, you gotta be somewhere? I understand. What planet are you from? 'Cause you're not from around here. Good luck. Well, you cleared the difficult $0 mark. Not by much, but you did it. Next, why not set your sights on a lofty goal, like the middle of the high scoreboard?
You don't know Jack!
Welcome, my name's Cookie, and I'm just so fucking jolly, it's holly jolly fucking rific. Here are the rules. I'm gonna read you some questions. Okay, you already got it. Let's go. First up, the final mind freak. Say Chris Angel dies and goes to heaven. While there, he somehow manages to work his way up the Christian angelic hierarchy. What should he change his name to when he gets to the top? Chris Archangel, Chris Cherub, Chris Seraph, or Chris Malik? Well, you picked the wrong answer, but maybe I can magically turn it into the right answer. No, that's wrong. Here's what you should have picked. Seraphim sit at the top of the hierarchy of angels. You know, even if Chris Angel was a real angel, I bet all his tricks would still be total bullshit. And on its way, the gubernatorial-nator. Which actor from the movie Predator is currently a U.S. governor? Arnold Schwarzenegger, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Arnold Schwarzenegger, or Arnold Schwarzenegger? That's how you spell it. Yep, it's quite a big name. I think he may have injected it with name-enhancing drugs. And up next, get a grip and calm down. It's just a dis or dat. Okay, I'm gonna read off 7 names, and for each one, you gotta tell me if it's a job on a movie set or a brand of denture adhesive cream. If it's a movie job, press 1. If it's a denture cream, press 2. To skip, press... Oh, you already know how it works. Let's go. Key grip, poly grip, cushion grip, dolly grip, miracle grip, best boy grip, company grip, gripping. And get yourself to the set of a Charlton Heston film if you want to see a dolly grip and poly grip at the same time. And coming up next, trolling for a good fillet. Because it's not an actual fish, which of the following would least likely brush up against your leg while swimming? A hog choker, a slippery dick, a big-eyed chub, or a darting willy? No, it's a fish. Usually shows up first thing in the morning. Hey, look at this right answer over here. The darting willy is definitely not a fish, so if you feel one on your leg, get out of the water. And if it attacks, just punch it in the blowhole. Now coming up, Little House on the Dramatic Prairie Dog. Say on an episode of Little House on the Prairie, the Ingalls family accidentally gets a visit from Friedrich Engels. What would most likely happen? Laura becomes a Scientologist, Pa becomes a communist, Ma becomes a vegetarian, or Nell... Friedrich Engels co-wrote the Communist Manifesto with Karl Marx. Karl Marx is the more famous of the two, possibly because of his adult contemporary hit, Right Here Waiting for You. And now, Monopoly, Mo Problems. Nate and I have been playing our annual year-end holiday Monopoly game.
You landed on Park Place again. You owe me $1,500.
I hate you, Nate.
I've got to go use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Sure. Okay, quick. I'm gonna steal some money from the bank while he's gone. Let me just grab some bills here. No, crap. I knocked over my eggnog. I'll use Nate's reindeer slipper.
I'll be right there. I'm just washing up.
Holy, what is he, some kind of speed peer? Okay, I got 3 white bills and 2 pink bills. How much Monopoly money did I steal? $13, $190, $300... Great. Well, time to end this game like I end every game of Monopoly, by accidentally knocking a board off the table. Next up... Brace yourself for the attack. Oh, of course, you don't need to hear all this talking. What should I call your balls? If I'm gonna play with them, I need to know. Good luck. You're mediocre, yes you are. You're mediocre, you won't go far. Yay, someone better than you.
You don't know Jack!
Hi, I'm Cookie, and this is the 4,377th best day of my life. Okay, let's start with the instructions. Okay, let's get it on. First up, fat as a fiddle. I'm not proud of this, but over the weekend I watched an entire marathon of Celebrity Fit Club episodes. The show's like potato chips. I couldn't stop watching it, but exercising and eating right doesn't seem like a very Hollywood solution. How could Gary Busey lose the most weight the fastest? Remove a kidney, remove his brain, remove his liver, or remove his gallbladder? You've got a lot of gall being this wrong. Here's what you should have picked. The liver is the heaviest organ in the human body. And yes, I'm generously including Gary Busey under the classification of human. And up next... Ta-tas for now. If I yelled, "Show me your tittles," which word would best be able to do it? Maracas, hooters, knockers, or jubblies? Knock, knock. Who's there? No one. You're in the wrong house. Hey, look at this right answer over here. Tittles are the dots above the letter I and the letter J. All those words remind me of something. I've been trying to figure it out all day, but I just don't know what it is. Oh well, I did my best. Next up. Dude sounds like a lady. And oh yeah, it's a this or dat. I'm gonna read off 7 names of people I've hit on after several drinks at celebrity New Year's parties. For each, I want you to tell me if I was hitting on a woman, or I was accidentally hitting on a man. If it's a woman, press 1. If it's a man, press 2. And to skip, press 4. All right, then, don't let me keep you. Cameron Crowe, Leslie Nielsen, Jamie Presley, Jordan Sparks, Ty Pennington, Mandy Patinkin, Marion Barry. Well, not perfect, but hey, sometimes a little gender confusion can spice up your love life. Ask Eddie Murphy. Yeah, I've made some mistakes in the past, but that's all behind me now. Anyway, Nate, I don't know if this is awkward, but I was wondering if you'd be interested in a drink after work tonight.
Cookie, I'm a guy.
Really?
I have a beard.
Sorry, Nate. Maybe I'll duck in the bathroom and clean my contacts. Oh. Now coming up. 4. Stop living with me. Which season of MTV's The Real World takes place in a U.S. state capital? The Real World San Francisco, The Real World Seattle, The Real World Philadelphia, or The Real World... Austin is the capital of Texas. And possibly the only part of Texas that a group of 7 diverse strangers wouldn't be run out of. And on its way, 5! Peter Porker. Suppose in Spider-Man 4, Spider-Man saves MJ from execution, just like Charlotte saved Wilbur from slaughter in Charlotte's Web. Which positive review of MJ would he not write into a giant web? Lovely, terrific, radiant, or humble? You're quite dull, aren't you? And the correct answer is... Charlotte the Spider called Wilbur the Pig radiant, terrific, and humble, but she did not call him lovely. Too bad he saved her. I bet Kirsten Dunst has a nice pork loin. And coming up next... Don't forget to flush, Royals. When I was a kid, I didn't have many toys, just a deck of cards. Hey, Jack of Clubs, how you doing? Pretty good, Queen of Diamonds. Thanks for asking. Oh. Oh, Jack. Anyway. I made a bunch of paper clothes for my King of Hearts playing card. Based on what he looks like, what novelty t-shirt slogan should he not wear? I'm the Suicide King, my 2 eyes are up here, heavy is the head that wears the crown, or free mustache rides. He's got a crown, he's the freaking king. This would have been a good idea. The King of Hearts is the only king that doesn't have a mustache. And I have them all living in Barbie's dream house. And now... Brace yourself for the attack. When you see 2 things that Oh, I see you're just too excited. What the... Huh? I know they're the something, but the what? Good luck. Hey, not bad. Let me look at the scoreboard. Well, you got the same score as Dougie Taylor of Bloomington, Illinois. Age 4. I'm Cookie, and welcome to the Power of 10. Here are the rules. I'm gonna read you some questions. Oh, instructions! You don't need no stinking instructions! Roll it! First up, 69, dude! Say Bill and Ted discover that they have a limited amount of power in their phone booth time machine. Which historical figure from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure would they have to go the least far back in time to retrieve? Sigmund Freud, Ludwig van Beethoven, Franklin D. Roosevelt, or Billy the Kid? FDR passed away in 1945, making his lifetime the closest to our present time. Of course, FDR wasn't in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, so you're wrong. This would have been a good idea. Freud died in 1939, making him the only historical figure from the movie that lived into the 20th century. I actually have my own time machine. In fact, I traveled into the future, and I have to warn you, don't pick the third answer on the next question. For the love of God, don't pick it! And on its way... Eek! News Daily! Mathematically speaking, what does the entertainment news channel E stand for? The sum of each component part of E, E to an unknown power, E only more so, or the product of the integers from 1 to E. In math, an exclamation point designates a factorial. So, say E, which would normally be represented with N, stands for, the number 3. The product of the integers from 1 to E would be 1 times 2 times 3, or 6. You totally started zoning out when I explained factorials, didn't you? It's okay. Math is boring. Next. Next up. Flushing the old blowhole. And what the poop? It's a dis or dat. I'm gonna read off 7 names, and for each one, tell me if you think it's a character from the animated movie Finding Nemo, or a slang name for a toilet from around the world. If it's a Finding Nemo character, press 1. If it's a toilet, press 2. To skip, press 4. Get one right, and you get 200. All right, then, don't let me keep you. Nettie! Squirt! Gurgle! Bloat! Jax! Bog! Dunny! You know the story about the one that got away? Mm-hmm. You should have seen the fish swimming in my toilet this morning. I think it was a member of the Crappie family. And up next... Affleck! If you were to anti-alias former Alias star Jennifer Garner, how would she appear? She'd be sharper, she'd be smoother, she'd be see-through, or she'd be two-dimensional. When you anti-alias an image, or in this case Jennifer Garner, you minimize the visual distortion, or jaggies, making it and her smoother. Unfortunately, you can't eliminate the giant jaggy to her left in her wedding photo. Now coming up, where have all the Dustins gone? Okay, imagine this. You're in a doctor's waiting room in America with a 50-year-old man, a 25-year-old man, and a 5-year-old boy. The nurse announces a name and all 3 stand up. What did she most likely say? Michael, Christopher, Matthew, or John? No, that would be if you were at the doctor's office with a cast of friends. Hey, look at this right answer over here. Since the mid-1950s, only one name, boy or girl, has been in the top 5 list of baby names every year, and it's Michael. In fact, according to the U.S. Social Security Administration, it's been the number 1 or number 2 boy's name since 1954. Oh yeah, and I forgot to tell you, you're at the doctor because you have herpes. Sorry. And coming up next, Pawning Noobs. It's time once again for another edition of Celebrity Mail. As you know, as an extremely popular celebrity, I get tons of mail each and every day, most of which is intercepted by Nate and donated to lonely prisoners. So let's just open this one up here. Oh, wow. It's a note from reclusive chess grandmaster Bobby Fischer. He wants to meet up in a local park that he's set up like a giant chessboard. He said I'd find him at H8. Where the hell am I supposed to go? The middle of the park, the northeast corner of the park, the middle of the south side of the park, or the bathrooms? According to the most widely used form of chess notation, H8 is the top right corner of the board, so it would probably be the northeast corner of the park. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. H8. Maybe he's just saying he hates me. Fine, well, I ate him. And now... Brace yourself. Oh, of course. You don't need to hear all this talking. Thanks for your help, but you're blocking my light. We're in this together, but I'm in charge. Good luck. I could see you one day becoming a sidekick to someone's sidekick.
You don't know Jack!
Welcome to the game. I'm Cookie, and my favorite word is brush up. Now the instructions. Oh, well, don't let me stand in your way. First up, the day after hump day. Damn it, Nate! Didn't I tell you to get rid of this camel? My party was last night, and I don't need it anymore.
Oh, right. Sorry. How do you want me to ship that again?
I don't care. Just ship it the hell out of here. Anyway, this has got me thinking. If Nate ships this camel back to Mongolia using the shipping service whose name is written in camel case, which one will he choose? DHL, FedEx, U.S. Postal Service, or UPS? UPS does use all small letters in its logo, which makes it look like ups, which is so ironic for your answer vis-a-vis what it's going to do to your score. And the correct answer is... when compound words or phrases are joined without spaces and the beginnings of each word are capitalized, like the F in Fed and the E in X, that's called camel case.
Okay, Cookie. I called and it's gonna cost $1,200 to ship.
What? Forget it. Alright, I'm gonna need some duct tape and a tarp. And up next... Harry, quite contrary. Which nursery rhyme contains the code name of the first atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima on August 6, 1945? Mary had a little lamb, this little piggy, little Jack Horner, or Little Boy Blue? Little Boy was the name of the first atomic bomb ever used in warfare. And yes, it blew. And I don't mean to make light of the situation, but to this day, they're still finding sheep in the meadow and cows actually in the corn. Now coming up, the bingo ate my baby! And yep, it's a dis or dat. I'm going to read off 7 things, and for each one, tell me if it's a past or present model of Infiniti automobile, a number in bingo, or both. If it sounds like it's just an Infiniti, press 1. If it sounds like a bingo number, press 2. If it sounds like both luxury car and a bingo shout, press 3. Oh, you already know how it works. Let's go. B5, G35, I30, J30, N45, O65, Q45. Good, good. Of course, the next round you'll have to fill in the entire board. Yeah, bingo parlor is a great place to meet women. I'm currently dating an 87-year-old woman myself. Next up, 4. Stuart Little scared the crap out of me. Considering which animal kills the most Americans every year, which movie is the most terrifying? Charlotte's Web, Must Love Dogs, An American Tail, or Bambi? Terrifying, yes, but wrong. This would have been a good idea. Deer kill more Americans than any other animal. So, Bambi's mom had it coming. And now, dirty parts. According to the movie Superbad, 8% of kids go through a phase where they obsessively draw penises all the time. I'm not sure about this, but I think that those kids that don't grow out of that phase become famous artists. Which work of art doesn't have a penis in it? Leonardo da Vinci's Vitruvian Man drawing, Michelangelo's fresco on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, Donatello's bronze statue of David, or Raphael's painting St. George and the Dragon. The other works depict exposed penises, but not this one. No, St. George understood the importance of protecting your junk while fighting a dragon. And on its way, I've got hair there. Which resident of Sesame Street has hair on his Ophirin? Bert, Ernie, Big Bird, or Count Von Count? The Ophirin is the space between your eyebrows. Since Bert has a unibrow, there's hair on his Ophirin. And if he'd just shave it, Ernie might finally fall in love with him. And coming up next... Oh, you gotta be somewhere? I understand. You've got a little something on your shirt. It's right there, over your left nipple. Good luck. 'Tis better to have played and lost than to have never been intimate with a member of the opposite sex at all.
You don't know Jack!
My name's Cookie, and I'm wearing my big boy pants. Now let's get to the rules. I'm gonna read you some questions. When you think you know the answer, hit the 1, 2... Oh, instructions! You don't need no stinking instructions! Roll it! First up, free anywhere minutes. What the hell was that?
Oh, sorry. I had to bring my parrot into work today. I hope you don't mind.
Oh, why would I mind? And it makes total sense that it's in the booth with me instead of the control room with you.
Good. I knew you'd understand.
I am so gonna kill you, Nate. Hi, Bird. Polly want a cracker?
Polyglot! Polyglot!
Okay, apparently Nate's parrot is a polyglot. What will it most likely do if I hold a cracker in front of it? It'll ask for the cracker in several languages? A polyglot is someone or something that is able to speak or write several languages.
Acabo de tomar una mierda repugnante en el café de este pendejo.
Good one, Polly.
What? What did it say? What did it say? And coming up next... My, what big budgets you have. Say Hollywood makes a big summer blockbuster out of the story of Little Red Riding Hood. Considering Red's name from the traditional tale, who would be appropriate to cast in the part? Daryl Hannah, Kate Blanchett, Toni Collette, or I would like to see her dress in a little red outfit and stockings while frolicking through the woods. But, no. Here's what you should have picked. In many versions of the story, Blanchett, with an E, is the little girl's name. The movie will also star Scott Wolf. Now coming up... What's the deal with space food? And all right already, it's a this or that. I'm gonna read off 7 names, and for each I want you to tell me if it's a character from Seinfeld, a character from the Jetsons, or both. If they're from Seinfeld, press 1. If they're from the Jetsons, press 2. If they're from both, press 3. Oh, you already know how it works. Let's go. George! Buddy! Elroy! Peterman! Astro! Cosmo! Vanya! Well, you know a little something about nothing. And let's not forget everyone's favorite Jetsons character, the maid, Mulva. Next up. 4. You got your gold in my chocolate. What would you do for a Klondike bar of gold? Travel to Alaska in 1849 riding a lion? Travel to Russia in 1886 on a broken hang glider? No, that's what you feel like when you bite into a York peppermint patty. This would have been a good idea. The Klondike Gold Rush took place in the Yukon Territory of Canada near the Alaskan border in 1897. As research for this question, I strapped a bomb to myself and went into our office freezer to get a Klondike bar. And it's delicious. Now, where did I... And now... What up, G? Ometry? How would you calculate the surface area of rapper actor Ice Cube? His length times his width times his height, 6 times the square of his side, 4 times pi times his radius squared, or the sum of all his sides. No, that would be Ice Cube's volume! Hey, look at this right answer over here. To find the surface area of a cube, you take the square of its side and multiply that by 6. And to measure properly, be sure to use an iced tea square. And up next, Celebrity for 2. Okay, I'm not one of those people who goes all crazy over other celebrities. I mean, we are normal people just like everybody else. That said, on my way over here, I saw Glenn Close. Oh my God, she's famous! Well, okay, I didn't see her, but I saw her car drive by. I didn't see her in the car, but I'm sure it was her car. What did I have? A Glenn Close encounter of the first kind, a Glenn Close encounter of the second kind, a Glenn Close encounter of the third kind, or... Is that kind of like getting to third base? Hey, Glenn Close is a respectable lady. And the correct answer is... A close encounter of the first kind is merely spotting the object. In the case of those UFO fanatics, an unidentified flying object. But don't worry, Glenn Close. I'm not going to stalk you or anything. Note to self, buy bunny to cook on Glenn Close's stove. Okay, next. And on its way. Brace yourself for the attack. Oh, you gotta be somewhere? I understand. Who's your daddy? Or uncle? Don't even think about crying uncle on this one. Good luck. Yeah, I can respect that score. I don't have to like it. I don't have to pay attention to it, but I can respect it. No, I can't. Woo! Okay, keep trying, pal.
You don't know Jack!
This is Cookie, and I'm playing the greatest hits of the 80s, 90s, and today. Here are the rules. I'm going to read you some questions. When you think you know the answer, oh, you know so much. Let's get started. First up, heavy petting. Because it doesn't contain the name of an actual bird, which phrase would most likely get you punched at a pet shop? Oh, your downy nutbush looks very soft. I hear you're an expert on golden swallows. I'm interested in a couple of pygmy tits, or a friend. The downy nutbush is not a bird, though I suppose it could be considered a nest of sorts. And a word of warning, if you try to touch the downy nut bush, just be careful not to rile the red-throated Dick Sissel. Next up, Mel Gibson's true legacy. Which loser has only been named People Magazine's Sexiest Man of the Year once? Brad Pitt, Richard Gere, Tom Cruise, or George Clooney? Are you kidding? The man is a super hunk. Hey, look at this right answer over here. There have been 3 multiple winners: Brad Pitt, George Clooney, and Richard Gere. Tom Cruise has only won once. Proving my point that Tom Cruise is ugly. Now coming up... Hello, Dolly! And hello, it's Dis or Dat. I'm gonna read off 7 titles, and for each one, tell me if it's a work of art by famed artist Salvador Dali, or a Weird Al Yankovic album. If it's a surrealist work by Dali, press 1. If it's a polkarific work by Weird Al, press 2. To skip? Oh, you already know how it works. Let's go. Poodle Hat, The Burning Giraffe, Tuna Fishing, Off the Deep End, Lobster Telephone, Bad Hair Day, The Great Masturbator. Not bad, not bad. Or as Weird Al would say, not fat, not fat. And the thing is... Sorry, my poodle hat just jumped off. And will somebody answer that lobster telephone, please? All right, I'll get it. Hello? Ow! And now, it's a date. Which book was published closest to the date of its title? Arthur C. Clarke's 2001: A Space Odyssey, George Orwell's 1984, David McCullough's 1776. We hold these truths to be self-evident. You are stupid. Here's what you should have picked. The book 2001 was published in 1968, about 33 years before the date of the title. And now we're well past 2001 and still no damn aliens. You've got a lot to answer for, Arthur C. Clarke. And up next, Bite Me. Hey, before I ask this next question, I have to have a quick snack. I'm feeling a little lightheaded. Let's see, something healthy. Ooh, bit of honey. Chewy. Can't speak too well. Anyway, if I just took one bite out of my bit of honey candy bar, how many bits of candy will end up in my colon? 8? 42. A bite is a collection of bits that are processed by a computer. Each bite has 8 bits. Can't swallow it. Help me. My gums are bleeding. And on its way, let's all go to the lobby. If I use the internet to order tickets on Fandango, which net would I definitely use to actually play a Spanish Fandango? Clarinet, castanet, cornet, or bassinet? The rhythm of the Fandango is often marked by castanets, which sound like this. And a visit to a movie theater sounds like this.
I don't understand which one is the spy.
Shut up! And coming up next... Brace yourself for the attack. Oh, well, sure, I'll just shut my mouth then. I remember when I was a hooker. Luckily, it was caught on film. Good luck. No. The game where you just hit buttons as quickly as possible without worrying about which ones you're hitting is that track and field video game from the 80s. This one is called You Don't Know Jack.
You don't know Jack!
Cookie here, just biding my time until sweet, sweet death comforts me in her warm embrace. Here's how it works. Well, you know so much, let's get started. First up, riot! Nate and I have decided to start a riot. Ah!
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 Actually, Cookie, do we have enough people for a riot?
I don't know. How many people do we need? Let me just look it up here. According to U.S. federal law, which group has exactly the minimum number of people to be considered a riot? Queer Eye's Fab Five, the Fantastic Four, the Three Stooges, or Two Girls, One Cup? How ironic that the word fantastic is in your answer. This would have been a good idea. According to U.S. federal law and the official definition for riot, you need at least 3 people to be considered a riot. So, Nate, I guess we don't have enough people for a riot.
I already set the soundboard on fire.
And up next, better shredding through chemistry. Imagine heavy metal bands had to use the appropriate periodic table of the elements symbols in their names. Which band would be using the wrong symbol? Iron Maiden, Nickelback, Led Zeppelin, or Silverchair? You can start banging your head against something now. And the correct answer is... the symbol for silver is AG. S is the symbol for sulfur. And there's no such thing as a sulfur chair. Until now. Next up. It's a jungle out everywhere. And roar! It's a dis or dat. I'm going to read off 7 names, and for each one, tell me if it's a world capital or a wild animal. If it's a world capital, press 1. If it's a wild animal, press 2 to skip. Oh, you already know how it works. Let's go. Muscat, Harare, Canberra, Bishkek, Martin, Manama, Conakry. Time for some capital punishment. Tune in next time for our dis or dat, name of a country, an animal you eat at Thanksgiving, or both. And on its way, Big Boned. Who's not Mr. Big? Carrie's love interest on Sex and the City, the cigar-smoking baby from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the band with that song To Be With You, or the villain in the movie Live and Let Die. What? You don't know the band Mr. Big? They had so many great songs, like To Be With You, and, To Be With You. Not to mention the live version of To Be With You. Hey, look at this right answer over here. The cigar-smoking baby was Baby Herman, not Mr. Big. There's something about the name Mr. Big that seems like it's trying too hard. I think a better name would be Mr., slightly above average, or Mr. Just Big Enough. And coming up next, Doompity-Doo. In the 1971 film Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, in which room are the Oompa Loompas practicing oology? The chocolate room, the room with the television cameras, the room where they juice the blueberries, or the room where the geese lay golden eggs? Let me guess. When they took you to the stretching room, they were able to stretch everything back to its normal size, except your head. Here's what you should have picked. Oologies, the study of eggs, by orange dwarves with green hair. Also by anyone else. And yes, it's pronounced ology and not oology, which would have made this question about Oompa Loompas funnier. F*** off. I don't write the dictionary. Next! And now, these drugs are a drag. Okay, it's time to set the record straight. I have been taking some medication, and I think people are confused about what it's for. I'm not having trouble getting an erection. If anything, the opposite is true. I'm taking medicine because I'm having trouble with eructations. I have an erectile dysfunction. What am I having trouble getting up? My arms, my belches, my IQ, or my airplane? I have no problems raising my arms, or my fingers, or just this finger. Yeah, you know what finger I'm talking about. This would have been a good idea. To eruct is to belch, something I'm having trouble doing. Sweet Lord in heaven, I'm cured! It's a miracle! Now coming up... Oh, you gotta be somewhere? I understand. I prefer the fancy name, thank you. I guess some people will eat anything. Good luck. Well, looks like you owe me money. I'm short on $5 bills, so, if you could just send all fives, that'd be great.
You don't know Jack!
This is Cookie, and I'm using positive visualization to ask the universe for the things I want. Now the instructions. Okay, you already got it. Let's go. First up, notice there's no P in our ocean. Suppose 7-Eleven comes out with an even bigger Big Gulp called the Big Gulf. Which version of the Big Gulf would have the most liquid in it? The Big Gulf of Mexico? 79 cents. The Big Persian Gulf? 79 cents. The Big Gulf of Guinea? No, that drink would only be good for about 72 trips to the John. I'm looking for the one that'll actually cause your bladder to hemorrhage. This would have been a good idea. The Gulf of Mexico is the largest gulf in the world, so the Big Gulf of Mexico would be the one to actually rupture your kidneys. I think the Slurpee is the most aptly named of all the 7-Eleven beverage products because it accurately describes the entire process of you drinking it. 1 slurp and 2 pee. And up next... No, I said fetch the ball, Rex. Hey, you know how dogs can lick their scrotums? Oh, that reminds me. Hey, Nate, could you move my yoga appointment to 10:30 tomorrow morning? Okay, where was I? If after a dog licks his scrotum, he is found to have a scrotal tongue, what would you notice? He'd have cracks on his tongue, he'd have wrinkles on his tongue, he'd have hair on his tongue, or he'd have a scrotum on his tongue. A scrotal or fissured tongue is a harmless condition characterized by deep cracks on the top of the tongue. And if you ask me, that's a small price to pay for being able to lick your own nads. And coming up next, ants in your good work slacks. And tickle my trousers, it's a dis or dat. I'm going to read off 7 names. For each one, tell me if it's a type of ant or a career in the board game, The Game of Life. If it's an ant, press 1. If it's a Game of Life career, press 2. To skip, press 4. All right, then don't let me keep you. Carpenter, acrobat, athlete, thief, harvester, artist, pharaoh. Let's go back. Pharaoh. You're a loser at the Game of Life. The thing I learned from the Game of Life is that women are pink and men are blue and tiny and have no arms, legs, or butts, but they can still drive. Now coming up, 4. Hustle and bustle. Okay, suppose any given bus could only go as fast as the bus company's mascot. If you want to get where you're going faster than a Greyhound bus, which bus line should you choose? Elk bus lines, kangaroo bus lines, rabbit bus lines, or elephant bus lines? No, Greyhounds can actually catch rabbits if there's no wagering. Makes them nervous. And the correct answer is... Elk can run up to 45 miles per hour. Greyhounds can only go about 39.5 miles per hour. Plus, if you get one of the new elk buses, they still have that fresh musk smell. And on its way, 5 elves.
Cookie, there's a rich German man here to see you.
Guten Tag, Cookie.
Oh, hi, Horst. This is Horst. He owns a German movie studio and wants to make sequels to American movies.
I want to make sequel to the Will Ferrell elf movie. What happened to the elf? The German people demand more stories about lovable elf.
Okay, Horst. Settle down. Considering what elf means in German, how many German elf sequels would we have to make to get to elf? 6 elf sequels, 8 elf sequels, 10 elf sequels, or 12 elf sequels? Elf is the German word for 11, so there would have to be 10 sequels to get to elf. I gotta say, I'm not sure there's enough story for 11 elf movies.
Do not worry, Cookie. We have ways of making elf have enough story.
Horst, you're creeping me out. And now, if your pants are full of foam. I was just thinking about that old schoolyard song, Diarrhea. You know, when you're sliding into first and you're feeling something burst, diarrhea. And when you're sliding into third and you drop a juicy turd, diarrhea. Classic. Well, according to the Bristol stool chart, what number would you be sliding into if you really did have diarrhea? 2, 5, 7, or 10? If your stool is entirely liquid, it's type 7. Okay, 7 is no longer my lucky number. Next up. Brace yourself for the attack. Well, somebody's in a hurry. Okay then. Obsession. I hope you're obsessed with winning fake dollars. Good luck.
Cookie actually left the studio. He said it's beneath him to comment on such a small score. But hey, you're slightly above zero. Hooray!
You don't know Jack!
This is Cookie, and I'll pee on anything. Now let's get to the rules. Oh, you know so much. Let's get started. First up, who's hungry for Cookie? I've decided to write a fictional autobiography. What title should I use if I want to win a Hugo Award? Cookie Masterson, Vampire King? Cookie Masterson, Private Dick? Cookie Masterson, Robot from Mars? Or Cookie Master... You said private. Hey, look at this right answer over here. The Hugo Awards are given out to works of science fiction. Obviously, it would be a fictional autobiography because I'm not a robot. 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 Ow! Nate, what the hell are you doing?
You were skipping again.
If you ever hit me again, Nate, I will kill you. You hear me? Kill you. Kill you. Kill you. Kill you. Kill you. Okay, moving on. And now... That's a bunch of bush tit. Considering the well-known saying it's based on, which of these phrases makes the most sense? Stop bush-titting around the bush. It's as cold as a bush tit's tit. A bush tit in the hand is worth two in the bush. A bush tit is a bird, so a bush tit in the hand is worth two in the bush. I think that was George W. Bush's campaign slogan in 2004. Now coming up... I'm going to cover this very small area around my eyes. And peekaboo, it's a this or that. I'm going to read off 7 characters, and for each one, tell me if the character wears a mask over the eyes or is maskless. If the character wears a mask, press 1. If the character generally wears no mask, press 2. To skip, press... Oh, you already know how it works. Let's go. Zorro, Puss in Boots from the Shrek series, Darkwing Duck, Batman's sidekick Robin, Underdog, Captain Underpants, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Nice job, Captain Average. I wore a mask for a few weeks, you know, for the ladies. I just ended up with a mask tan and eyebrow pimples. And on its way... 4. Get your rocks off. My desk. Which of the following radio DJ proclamations does not contain an actual geologic term? You're in the right place for hard rock. Up next, a little acid rock. After this break, although less commonly used today, hard, acid, and country rock are all geological terms. Folk rock, however, is just boring music. And coming up next, 5! I'm Queen of the World! No, seriously. So, are you aware that the Queen of England is not only the Queen of England, but also the head of state of 16 other Commonwealth nations? Yeah, no sh**. Because it involves a nation where she is not the head of state, which proclamation by Queen Elizabeth II would be met with revolting peasants? Hey, hosers, I'm the Queen of Canada, eh? Look at me, man, I'm the Queen of Jamaica. Crikey, I'm the Queen of New Zealand, mate. Or, I'm the Queen of Norway, and I'm a Viking. Queen Elizabeth is not the head of Norway, but she is the head of a buttload of other countries, including Canada, Jamaica, and New Zealand. People of New Zealand, I am your queen. Next up, there's always room for pie. When is Pi Day? April 4th every 4 years. March 14th, written in American date form, is 314. The number pi is 3.14. And then a bunch of digits that apparently don't matter to the people who came up with Pi Day. And make junior high school boys giggle day is June 9th. And up next... brace yourself for the attack. Oh, you gotta be somewhere? I understand. Could you move your car? I know it's yours. Good luck. Not bad. If you run into an incredibly stupid person, you can brag about doing better than them.
You don't know Jack!
This is Cookie, and today's game is going to be... Oh, Hot Pocket's ready! Okay, let's start with the instructions. Okay, you already got it. Let's go. First up, this is one god-human that can't be undid, home skillet. If the movie Juno followed what happened in Roman mythology, what would Juno name her baby? Jupiter, Venus, Mars, or Saturn? In Roman mythology, Juno was the mother of Mars. The whole myth was heartwarming and funny, and written by a stripper. Now coming up... Is he Bear down there? Hey, you know what I love? That Fuzzy Wuzzy nursery rhyme. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear, Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't Fuzzy Wuzzy. Get it? Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't fuzzy, was he? Get it? Was he? Woo! Love that one. Yeah, anyway. Since Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear, what could he be? Was he a sun bear, a sea bear, a koala bear, or a woolly bear? Sea bear is another name for fur seals, which are furry and not bears, 'cause they're seals. Hey, look at this right answer over here. Unlike the others, a sun bear is actually a bear, found in the tropical rainforests of Southeast Asia. And hey, leave the bear alone, okay? He asked for a Brazilian wax, and the lady forgot to leave the landing strip he wanted. And coming up next, searching for chemistry and or a one-night stand. And OMG, it's a DOD. I'm gonna read off 7 sets of letters. For each one, tell me if it's an abbreviation used in personal ads, a chemical symbol, or both. If it's from a personal ad, press 1. If it's a chemical, press 2. If it's both a personal ad abbreviation and a chemical symbol, press 3. Oh, you already know how it works. Let's go. F. Buy. TS. M. P. C. BBW. I don't think you read my instructions thoroughly. Right next to no fatties, I said no dummies. You know, dating is hard. I think when I have kids, I'll just have a test tube baby. You get to have sex for that, right? And on its way. 4. Does this torch make me look fat? According to the Body Mass Index, which takes into account your height and your weight, how is the Statue of Liberty doing weight-wise? She's underweight, she's perfectly healthy, she's overweight, or she's morbidly obese. With flattery like that, it just seems like you're trying to get into her country. This would have been a good idea. With a BMI of nearly 200, the Statue of Liberty is super crazy, ultra super morbidly obese. But to be fair, that's weighing her with her clothes on. And now, the call is coming from inside the house. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and I think the best thing about me is that... Nate! Never interrupt me when I'm talking about myself.
I'm sorry, but I'm reading this Goosebumps book, and it's really scaring me.
Aren't those books for kids? Say R.L. Stein decides to change the name of his Goosebumps books to something scarier. What would the new title be if he used the medical term for goosebumps? Pterotitis, horripilations, scarebrasions, or fearlogicals. Here's what you should have picked. The medical term for goosebumps is horripilation. Anyway, as I was saying... Nate! First of all, you shouldn't be reading at work. And second of all, why do you have to hit the intercom button every time you scream? And up next... Meddling where you shouldn't oughta. Which Nobel Prize winner could have stated in his acceptance speech, "I'd like to acknowledge the support of my wife, who also happens to be my cousin"? Albert Einstein, T.S. Eliot, Jean-Paul Sartre, or Mikhail Gorbachev? No, I think Sartre's speech went, "God does not exist. We are each alone and abandoned on Earth in the midst of infinite nothingness." Oh, and Tyler and Cody, if you're watching, Daddy says go to sleep, you rugrats. And the correct answer is... Albert Einstein apparently lived the theory of relativity by marrying a relative. Yep, Einstein was the father of modern physics, which is why modern physics looks a little like that kid from Deliverance. Next up... Oh, of course, you don't need to hear all this talking. Frisbee Tennis, the movie. I hope you remember to stretch. Good luck. Maybe you should stick to games like Peekaboo and Got Your Nose.
You don't know Jack!
This is Cookie, and I'm gonna take a moment to be serious. Excuse me. Now let's get to the rules. And oh, instructions! You don't need no stinking instructions! Roll it! First up, you must be this tall to vomit from this ride. Weak-stomached passengers on the first Ferris wheel ride would have been doing what? Mooting their banana splits all over Buffalo, chucking their churros all over Chicago, pitching their... The 1893 World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago marked the debut of the Ferris wheel. Since Chicago is a windy city, most of that barf landed in Gary, Indiana. You can still smell it to this day. And coming up next, the very first dick. If the forensic scientists on CSI Crime Scene Investigation examine the murders and Edgar Allan Poe's The Murders in the Rue Morgue, what case-cracking piece of evidence would they find at the scene? A skull mask, a tuft of orange hair, a black feather, or a beating heart? Choose this answer, nevermore! And the correct answer is... the murderer in The Murders in the Rue Morgue was an orangutan. And for the part of the orangutan, they could always call CSI Miami and get David Caruso. Next up. Heads. It's a dis or dat. I'm gonna read off 7 words, and for each one, tell me if it's one of the 5 major types of lettuce, or a word in Merriam-Webster's dictionary meaning stupid. If it's lettuce, press 1. If it's stupid, press 2. To skip, oh, you already know how it works. Let's go. Chowderhead, thickhead, butterhead, chucklehead, dunderhead, crisphead, knothead, knucklehead. I'm eating a bonehead lettuce salad sprinkled with numbnuts. Now coming up. 4. Stop leaving the light on for me. Which of these is true? Mr. Holiday founded Holiday Inn, Mr. Ramada founded Ramada Inn, Mr. Day founded Days Inn, or Mr. Ameri... Loosely translated, Ramada means you're wrong. Here's what you should have picked. Cecil B. Day started the popular Days Inn franchise. The others aren't true, and I've also found that the person who told me that Ted Knight founded the Knights Inn is a dirty liar. And on its way... 5! Is that a laser in your pocket, or are you just happy to sear me? Hey, you know that old Career Builder commercial where the monkey employees point their laser pointers at the guy trying to make a presentation, and they end up pointing the lasers at his, zipper area? Well, which phrase is both a part of the acronym LASER and something that might happen to a guy getting a laser pointed at his zipper region? Sudden elongation, spontaneous ejection, stimulated emission, or... The S and E in laser stand for stimulated emission, as in light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. Just a warning, if you get lasered in the groin, it's probably not going to have positive results. Learn from my mistake. And up next, Amazing Race Relations. Nate, this is probably a good time to tell you I've signed us both up to do the Amazing Race.
What?
If we don't win the grand prize, you're fired.
But
My only concern about doing the Amazing Race is that I don't know how to change the time on my watch. Because it has the fewest time zones, in which country will I be the least confused? United States of America, Russia, China, or Australia? That's completely wrong, mate. This would have been a good idea. Despite being big enough for 5 time zones, China officially only has 1 for the entire country, so I would never have to change my watch.
Cookie, I don't think I'd be a very good partner. I don't know how to drive. I'm afraid of...
Hey, don't worry. You'll be in charge of all the scary challenges, like jumping out of planes, anything with animals, gross food, running, counting, talking to people from other countries, and booking flights. And now... Well, somebody's in a hurry. Okay then, what's on your neck? It's not choking you, is it? Good luck. Not bad. I'm feeling nice today, so I'm not going to even mention the fact that there will definitely end up being a good number of people who'll score better than you. I'm just not going to do it. Congrats! But there will be.
You don't know Jack!
Hi, I'm Kookie's doppelganger, Kookie. Everything will proceed as normal, I'll just be a little kookier. Hey, all right! Okay, let's start with the instructions. Oh, you know so much, let's get started. First up, aren't you glad I didn't say the Woody Allen movie Bananas? What would you expect from a movie called James and the Giant Nectarine? James's house will be bigger than in James and the Giant Peach. The plot will be fuzzier than the plot of James and the Giant Peach. It will be a sweeter film. Your brain is fuzzier. And the correct answer is... nectarines are the same species as peaches, but nectarines have no fuzz and tend to be smaller and sweeter than peaches. Awesome. I can't wait for James and the Giant Apricot. Those 3 movies should be about as different as Cruel Intentions 1 through 3. And on its way, Abacus Skywalker. You know, I've never felt the Star Wars movies were quite nerdy enough, so in my spare time, I've started turning the characters from the movies into math problems. Suppose R2 minus D2 equals X. If the numbers R and D are equal to their letters' positions in the alphabet, what does X equal? X equals 0, X equals 28, X equals 62, or X equals C minus 3PO? I said R2 minus D2, not R4 minus D3. Ah, someone needs to bone up on their astromech droids. Here's what you should have picked. The letter R is the 18th letter in the alphabet, and D is the 4th. So 18 times 2, or 36, minus 4 times 2, or 8, equals 28. It's quite simple, really. And now that that's solved, I'm gonna get back to studying Princess Leia's long division. And coming up next... His name was Forrest Gump. He was a showgirl. And you don't have to be a smart man to figure out that this is a dis or dat. I'm gonna read off 7 names. For each one, tell me if it's the title of a Best Picture Oscar film or a character from Barry Manilow's song Copacabana. If it's a Best Picture, press 1. If it's from Copacabana, press 2. To skip? All right, then don't let me keep you. Gigi, Lola, Rocky, Rico, Marty, Rebecca, Tony. Wow, you really Manilowed that one. I feel like Barry Manilow and I have a lot in common. He writes the songs that make the whole world sing, and I make fun of him. And now, from the Russian Hot Topic with Love. Say Oblomov, the main character from the Russian novel Oblomov, went to a modern shopping mall. What store would he have the most trouble getting out of? Bed Bath & Beyond, Foot Locker, The Cheesecake Factory, or Pier 1? Don't fill up on points. Leave room for dessert. This would have been a good idea. Oblomov spends more than 100 pages of his book unable to get out of bed. Sounds exciting. Remind me to read that book after I shoot myself in the head. And up next... Password 123.
Hey, Cookie, I'm gonna go talk to IT to reset my passwords. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay, Nate. Okay, quick. We're supposed to reset all our passwords here at the office, and apparently they want me to come up with something even harder to crack than my current password for everything, which is 1111, and then an extra 1. See? The extra 1? Anyway, I want to make sure our intern Nate can't guess my new password. Since it's not on PC Magazine's 10 most common online passwords list, which of these passwords would be best? Monkey, Blink-182, chicken, or cookie? Yes? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to me. Wait, what? Hey, look at this right answer over here. Monkey, your first name, i.e. Cookie, and yes, Blink-182 are on the 10 most common passwords list. So chicken is the safest password here.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, hey, Nate.
I can still see the question up on your monitor. You're gonna use chicken as your new password?
Oh, crap. I guess I'll have to think of yet another new password.
Me too.
Next up, whale-on-whale action. No, not that type of action. Which of these whales could best be described as horny? Humpback, sperm, bowhead, or narwhal? Narwhals, or narwhales, have long horns or tusks. Oh yeah, and they also love to fuck. Now coming up... Oh, you gotta be somewhere? I understand. Make room for baby. Looks like the bun's out of the oven. Good luck. You know, it was looking bleak for a while, but I never gave up hope. I believed in you. I see now that was a mistake. A really dumb mistake. Like the many dumb mistakes you made during the game.
You don't know Jack!
This is Cookie, and I must regretfully withdraw my bid for the presidential nomination. Okay, let's start with the instructions. Oh, instructions! You don't need no stinking instructions! Roll it! First up, honk if you're easily persuaded to do things. Hey, I found this bike horn. So I thought I'd ask a question that lets me honk it a lot. For every car that is produced in the world, how many bicycles are produced? This many? This many? This many? Or this many? You don't even know how many times I honked the horn for this answer, do you? Hey, look at this right answer over here. For every car produced, there are 3 bicycles produced. And that's because 2 out of every 3 bicycles are run over by a car. And coming up next, Lord, thank you for high-speed internet. Amen. Speaking in church terms, why wouldn't you want to put fonts on your computer? The flames might melt your mouse, the exposed nails might impale your hands, the magnets could erase your files, or the holy water might damage your hard drive. Looks like they've already melted part of your brain. And the correct answer is... a font is a basin that contains holy water used for baptisms, and putting water on your computer is never a good idea. Which is too bad because I'd love to baptize my computer, or even just wash it off a little bit. Oh, who am I kidding? I need to hose the thing down. And up next, Renaissance. And yep, it's a dis or dat. I'm gonna throw out 7 names. For each, I want you to tell me if it's a famous Renaissance painter or a brand of frozen pizza. If it's a painter, press 1. If it's just a pizza, press 2. And to skip, press 4. Each right. All right, then, don't let me keep you. Da Vinci, DiGiorno, Freshetta, Giotto, Celeste, Bellini, Red Baron. Let's see what you skipped. Da Vinci. Not bad. If your score were a painting, I'd say good start. Decent use of colors. A little muddled, and frankly, you should have added more boobs. Another thing dead Renaissance painters and frozen pizzas have in common, they taste like cardboard. And on its way... 4. If you rented Must Love Dogs, we're breaking up. If the lengths of these movies corresponded to the months in their names, which movie would be the longest? March of the Penguins, Pieces of April, Junebug, or Sweet November? Keanu! This would have been a good idea. 30 days hath September, April, June, and November. All the rest, including March, have 31. Look, I get it. Penguins have a crappy life that goes on and on and on. Okay! And now... 5! Bunny innards. If you filled a chocolate Easter bunny with a food native to the country where Easter Island is located, what might be in the gooey center of your bunny? Swedish meatballs, Chilean sea bass, Greek salad, or Moroccan couscous? Easter Island is part of Chile. But don't put chili in your bunny. That's just gross. Next up... fingered. I'm really pissed off at Nate, but I need to preserve my golden voice, so I'm not gonna yell at him this time. What should I do to show Nate that I'm totally pissed? Flip up my Digitus Primus, flip up my Digitus Medius, flip up my Digitus Minimus, or flip up my Digitus Medicinalis? The medius finger is the middle finger, the bird, the F-bomb, the dirty finger. Try this on for size, Nate. Ow! I think I pulled something. Now coming up. Well, somebody's in a hurry. Okay then, that's my instrument. If you're very nice, I'll let you blow it. Good luck. The funny thing about small victories is they're almost indistinguishable from small failures.
You don't know Jack!
Hi, I'm Cookie, and I love corn. Here are the rules. Oh, you know so much. Let's get started. First up, Pink. James Pink. It must suck to be a celebrity with a common last name. People calling you all the time. Hey, Will Smith, I'm your cousin's brother's sister, Gary Smith. Send me some money. Which of these singers thankfully shares a last name with the fewest Americans? Barry White, Bobby Brown, Macy Gray, or Jack Black? I can't stress this enough. Never get involved with Bobby Brown in any way. This would have been a good idea. In order, the most common colorful last names in the U.S. are Brown, White, Green, Gray, and Black. Oh, excuse me. Hello?
Hey, Cookie Masterson. I'm your cousin's brother's sister, Gary Masterson. Yeah, send me some money.
My cousin's brother's sister? Gary? Wow, I didn't know I had one of those. Sure, I'll send you money, whatever you need. Next up. Me. Which me can I measure with a mecometer? Me in space, me as a baby, me underwater, or me after a... Mecometers are used to measure newborn babies. So I'll have to use my time machine first, and then I can use my mecometer. Did I mention I have a time machine? I guess I was so excited about my awesome mecometer that I totally forgot to mention I also have a time machine. And up next, quoth the Raven, inconceivable. And it's a spooky dis or dat. I'm going to read off 7 names, and for each one, tell me if it's a poem by Edgar Allan Poe or a location in the movie The Princess Bride. If it's a Poe poem, press 1. If it's a Princess Bride place, Press 2. To skip, press 4. Oh, you already know how it works. Let's go. The Valley of Unrest, the Cliffs of Insanity, the Pit of Despair, the Haunted Palace, the City in the Sea, the Fire Swamp, Fairyland. You've got a BOUS, a brain of unusually small size. Hello, my name is Cookie Masterson. You kill my question, prepare to die. And now, pour some sugar substitute on me. Which of the following brands are in order? Aspartame, saccharin, and sucralose. NutraSweet Sweet and Low Splenda equal Sweet and Low NutraSweet, Splenda Sweet and Low equal, or Splenda Sweet and Low Splenda. You're a little jumpy with the buzzer. Too much real sugar today? Here's what you should have picked. NutraSweet is aspartame, Sweet and Low is saccharin, and Splenda is sucralose. Equal, by the way, is also aspartame. Sugar is fine and all, but it's natural. See, these things are specially made chemicals produced by scientists, so you know they're good. I say ingest as many of these chemicals as you can, as often as you can. Oh, yeah. Now coming up. Alas, poor Goofy, I knew him well. Which Disney animal shares a name with the villain from Shakespeare's Othello? The warthog from The Lion King, the parrot from Aladdin, the dragon from Mulan, or the crab from The Little Mermaid? Iago is the name of the villain from Othello and the parrot from Aladdin. I actually think all birds are evil. Ah, see, now I pissed him off. Ow, ow! And on its way. Do you know what I mean? Considering the name of the Norse goddess of fertility, what would a Viking most likely say after finding out he got his girlfriend pregnant? Oh, frig, I'm gonna be a father. Oh, frick, I'm gonna be a father. Oh, fug, I'm gonna be a father. Or, oh, fuck, I'm gonna be a father. You don't know a frickin' thing about Norse mythology, do you? And the correct answer is... Frigg was the wife of Odin and the Norse goddess of marriage and fertility. She was also the mother of Balder, who I guess was the god of male pattern baldness. Thanks a lot, Balder. And coming up next... Oh, well, sure, I'll just shut my mouth then. Everybody follow Jay. And don't make me sick John J. Rambo on you. Get on with it. You know how there are glass half full and glass half empty people? Well, that performance was kind of glass completely empty, but for a dewy condensation silt at the bottom. All right, welcome to the April Fool's Week episode. Not. Now let's get to the rules. Oh, you know so much. Let's get started. First up, drop and give me 20. You know what game I really like? This one. But you know another game I like? 20 questions. We don't have a lot of time, but let's get to as many as we can. What am I thinking of? Well, ask me something. You're a vegetable. This would have been a good idea. Yep. I was thinking of Amanda Mitchell, who I dated briefly in college. Now coming up. Today you don't know Jack. Tomorrow the world doesn't know Jack. So I've decided to launch a plan for world domination. I'd make a pretty good overlord of Earth, right? People of Earth, I now control the planet's weather from my keyboard. I will now unleash devastating tornadoes. What button do I push to unleash devastating tornadoes? Shift, F4, Caps Lock, or Control-Alt-Delete? I am shouting now! You are wrong! Here's what you should have picked. According to the Fujita scale, the scale used to measure tornadoes, category F4 is a devastating tornado. And now I will unleash the devastation. Oh, not in here! Nate! Open a window or something! And up next, a little of this, a little of that. And that makes this a who cares? I'm going to read off 7 quotations. For each, I want you to tell me if it's from Charles Dickens' Great Expectations, it's from the movie Jackass 2, or both. If it's from Great Expectations, press 1. If it's from Jackass 2, press 2. If it's somehow both, press 3. All right, then, don't let me keep you. Dear old chap, life is made of ever so many partings welded together. If your asshole can't see the camera can't see your asshole. The communication I've got to make is that he has great expectations. I am Johnny Knoxville. Welcome to Jackass. I have been bent and broken, but I hope into a better shape. Bleeding. I'm gonna kick you in the balls. I know you guys hate this or dats with a both option. I hope it didn't make that one too hard. And now, and to drink, Peru. Okay, this question is for all our French players. Bonjour mes amis, comment allez-vous? Quand est-ce que est prêt le Fool's Day? So it's ou And the correct answer is, in France and in most of the world, dates are written as day/month/year. Unlike here in awesome America. I'm sorry, I'm just eating some of these freedom fries here. Next up, the whole world is foolish. You know, April Fool's isn't the only prank holiday celebrated in the world. Which prank phone call would be most appropriate on the Sis de Bidar? Do you have Prince Albert in Canada? Is your refrigerator Iraning? I'm calling for a Seymour, Botswana. Do you have 10-pound bull? In Iran, Sis de Bidar is a day to tell white lies and play practical jokes, just like April Fools. The holiday falls on the 13th day of the Persian calendar. It varies from year to year, but usually falls on April 2nd or 3rd. This year it actually falls on April 1st. So maybe we're not all so different after all. No, we're all pretty different. And on its way, do the hoaxy pokesy. Which of these things has not been proven to be a hoax? Mike the Headless Chicken who lived for over a year, the Piltdown Man Early Human Skull, Clifford Irving's biography of Howard Hughes, or Bonsai Kittens Inside Jars? Mike the Headless Chicken was real, and he lived for 18 months, but he prefers that you call him Michael. Now let's get on to the Jack Attack, because I've got tickets to a Milli Vanilli concert tonight, and I am so excited! And coming up next... Brace yourself. Oh, of course. You don't need to hear all this talking. Repeat after me. Repeat after me. Good luck. Good luck. Elk can run up to 45 miles per hour.
You don't know Jack!
Hello, my name is Cookie, and I left my Corey Hart albums in San Francisco on purpose. Now the instructions. I'm gonna read you... Okay, let's get it on. First up, bird flu. Nate's parrot, Polly, is sick, so he had to bring it back into the office. It's been barfing all over the place. If Nate's parrot, Polly, has parotitis, what does Polly have? Oh, here she is. She loves my microphone. Oh, Polly!
Polly has chickenpox. Polly has chickenpox. Polly has rubella. Polly has rubella. Polly has the mumps. Polly has...
Birds don't get West Nile virus. Hey, look at this right answer over here. Parotitis is inflamed parotid glands, otherwise known as the mumps, and it can occasionally cause vomiting. Oh, poor Polly. Here, let me wrap you in this warm blanket. Oh, I think I wrapped her too tight. Next up, Jay Whiz. Which of these authors did not write one of the top 25 best-selling books of all time? J.M. Barrie, J.D. Salinger, J.R.R. Tolkien, or J.K. Rowling? J.M. Barrie created Peter Pan, but he did not write one of the top 25 books of all time, unlike J.D., J.R.R., and J.K. And the number one best-selling book of all time is the Bible, written, of course, by J. Christ. And now, Faux Verbizzle. And golly gee, it's a dis or dat, Wally. I'm gonna re-dizzle 7 words. For each one, tell me if it's a real verb in Merriam-Webster's dictionary or Snoop speak from the song What's My Name Part 2. If it's a real verb, press 1. If it's merely Snoop speak, press 2. To skipizzle, press fizzle. Oh, you already know how it works. Let's go. Fizzle. Kizzle. Mizzle. Fizzle. Swizzle. Frizzle. Big drizzle. Close, but no sagizzle. You know, you could start a zoo with the middle names famous singers have dropped. Snoop Doggy Dogg, John Cougar Mellencamp, Michael Chimpanzee Bolton. Now coming up.
4.
Oh, snap! Because he wears a chef's hat, which cereal mascot could probably make you better breakfast than Rice Krispies? Snap, crackle, pop, or bang? Bang? There's no bang. When has your cereal gone bang? Here's what you should have picked. Of the Snap, Crackle, Pop elves, Snap wears the chef's hat. Pop wears a military hat, so I guess he's a soldier, and Crackle wears that sort of droopy Dr. Seuss hat, so he's a hippie? And up next, you're gonna Nemo Kleenex. Imagine a different ending to the movie Finding Nemo, where Nemo is never found and is forever stranded at Point Nemo. Where is he? The geometric center of the Bermuda Triangle, the bottom of the deepest part of the ocean, the North Pole, or the furthest spot from land? This would have been a good idea. Point Nemo, also known as the Pacific Pole of Inaccessibility, is the spot in the ocean that is furthest from land in every direction. I like to think of it as Earth's taint. And on its way, I've been picking at it for a while now. Do I have something stuck in my teeth? Yes, right between the canine and the first premolar. Yes, right between the central incisor and the canine. Yes, right between the lateral incisor and the first premolar. Yes, right between the first molar and the wisdom tooth. I have a dog in my mouth? Well, that explains my scratchy throat. And the correct answer is... No. Yep, there it is. See, of all the choices, this is the only one with two teeth that are next to each other. While we're at it, would you mind checking to make sure I shaved all my nipple hairs? And coming up next... Brace yourself for the attack. When you see two things... Oh, you gotta be somewhere? I understand. This is how the world ends. Hopefully you can end this with a bang. Good luck. That was bad. I'm not sure you'd even notice if the world ended.
You don't know Jack!
Hey, I'm Cookie, and I just don't understand this newfangled Macarena all the kids are doing these days. Now let's get to the rules. Oh, instructions! You don't need no stinking instructions! Roll it! First up, cheetahs, 0 to 60, and oops, you're dead. If cars were like animal species, 1 out of every 4 cars on the street would be a what? Volkswagen Rabbit, Porsche Spider, Shelby Cobra, or Volkswagen Beetle? This would have been a good idea. 1 out of every 4 animals in the world is some kind of beetle. It's true. No, Volkswagen does not believe in naming cars after majestic animals like Ram and Mustang. No, they're sticking with Rabbit and Beetle. Up next, the Volkswagen Very Tiny Kitten. And now, Crazy 8-Ball. I just got one of these magic 8-balls. Hey, Magic 8-Ball, do you really have magical powers? Ask again later? What? Stupid 8-Ball. Uh-oh, I broke it. Hey, look at that! The Magic 8-Ball die with all the answers on it has 20 sides. So, what is that? A tetradecahedron? An icosahedron? A dodecahedron? Signs point to no. Hey, look at this right answer over here. As all good mathematicians and RPG players know, a 20-sided die is an icosahedron. I wonder if there's a special name for the blue liquid inside the Magic 8-Ball. Let me just taste here. Ah! I think that's the same stuff they use in the diaper commercials. And up next... This Candyland is your land, this Candyland is my land, and this or that was made for you and me. I'm gonna read off 7 places, and for each one, tell me if it's a United States national monument or an area in the game Candyland. If it's a U.S. monument, press 1. If it's from Candyland, press 2. To skip, press 4. All right then, don't let me keep you. Rainbow Bridge, Walnut Canyon, Rainbow Trail, Jewel Cave, Gumdrop Mountains, Craters of the Moon, Molasses Swamp. Not bad until you started going into Sugar Shock. I've been working on a new version of Candyland with healthier messages. It's called Carrotland. Unfortunately, it's really confusing since all the squares are orange. Next up, 4. Leaky little monkey. Which of these monkeys might just be using his hands to hide his blepharitis? See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, or fart no evil. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear your answer. Ah, get it? Here's what you should have picked. By covering his eyes, See No Evil Monkey can also hide his blepharitis, an inflamed eyelid. Of course, with all that poop on his hands, he's just gonna make it worse. And coming up next, Crime Time Television. Well, with nothing else to watch, I was watching some international television last night, but I missed the opening titles, so I don't know what it was. Here, I was able to TiVo some of it.
Keep this crime scene clear. Okay, time is short. Details.
The victim was leaving the City Hall stage, and he was beaten to death by the Nobel Peace Prize he just won.
So, he worked for peace, but someone else wanted him to rest in peace.
Yeah.
Well, he looks familiar, but his name rings no bells.
Holy crap, this is terrible! With all those horrible puns about the Nobel Peace Prize, it's definitely a CSI spin-off. But which one? CSI Paris, CSI Amsterdam, CSI Stockholm, or CSI Oslo?
The other Nobel Prizes are awarded in Stockholm, but not the Peace Prize. So it was a Nobel try.
And the correct answer is... the Nobel Peace Prize is given out each year in Oslo, Norway.
Well, another case closed.
I know my spirits should be up, but I'm feeling Oslo.
Please stop.
Norway. Can't do it.
And on its way, Pocahoo-Has. You ever notice how the female characters in Disney animated films are like total babes? Their measurements are like 38, 22, 34, and they have big doe eyes, perfect hair, and their measurements are like 30... Oh, wait, I already said that part. Anyway, the point is, they're boobs. I mean, they're babes. Yeah. Which Disney babe is not a character from a Brothers Grimm fairy tale? Belle from Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella, Snow White, or Sleeping Beauty? Snow wrong. Hey, look at this right answer over here. The Brothers Grimm wrote versions of Cinderella, Little Snow White, and Sleeping Beauty, but they had no hand in the story of Beauty and the Beast. I don't know if it's weird that I find cartoon characters hot. Belle's hot. She's hot. Oh, and Mrs. Potts, the teapot, she's hot too. Oh, yeah, Mrs. Potts. Yeah, get some. Now coming up... Brace yourself. Oh, of course. You don't need to hear all this talking. Who don't you know? I know Jack. Do you? Good luck. Not bad at all. I don't know what your parents are talking about with their whole "my child will never amount to anything" deal.
You don't know Jack!
This is Cookie, and I'm very excited. Okay, let's start with the instructions. Oh, instructions! You don't need no stinking instructions. Roll it. First up, Asbestos Buddies. Welcome to this very special episode of You Don't Know Jack. It really is going to be, I think, my favorite episode.
Cookie? I think there's something wrong with the ceiling in the control booth.
Oh, yeah, don't worry about that, Nate. I called in some, asbestos removal specialists. Yeah, your control room has been plastered with asbestos for years, and it still hasn't managed to kill you, so I called them in to remove it. They're on the floor above you.
But pieces of ceiling keep falling on me. Do they even know I'm down here?
Oh, yeah, Nate, they know you're in there. I told them. Mm-hmm. Nate has yet to die from the asbestos in the control room. But if I had the patience to wait long enough, what asbestos-related disease might kill him? Mesothelioma, Ewing sarcoma, endometriosis, or... If I could wait long enough, mesothelioma is the cancer that is caused by asbestos. Hey, bang as hard as you want, guys! Yeah, really knock that ceiling down! Yes!
Hey, Cookie.
Nate, you're in here?
Yeah, here's that strawberry cheese Danish Pop-Tart you wanted.
Yeah, thanks. Next up, my favorite emergency. So, hypothetically, let's say something horrible happens to Nate. I'll have to call 911. You know, eventually. I've been practicing my 911 call. Hello? 911? Oh no. My intern Nate has been stabbed a lot in the face. I'm so sad and in no way responsible. Oh. Yeah, I need more practice. Luckily, I love saying it. Say something horrible were to happen to Nate in England. What would my emergency call sound like then? Hello? 0? Nate's been hit by a meteorite. Hello? 411? Nate's been drowned in butter. Hello? 555? Speaking of 0... Hey, look at this right answer over here. Along with 112, 999 is the number for emergency assistance in the United Kingdom. I need more practice. Something horrible happened to Nate. Hello? Something horrible happened to Nate. Well, I'll keep working on it. And on its way, Murder Most Fun. And it's a killer dis or dat. So, I've been thinking about murder lately. For no reason, just, thinking about it. Anyway, I'm gonna read off a list of murderers. For each, I want to know if they got away with it, and thus I could learn from their success, or they got caught, and I should learn from their mistakes. If they got away with it, press 1. If they got caught, press 2. To skip and come back to it later, press 4. Oh, you already know how it works. Let's go. Kaiser Soze. The Zodiac Killer, Norman Bates, American Psycho, Jack the Ripper, The Bone Collector, Anton Chigurh. You don't seem to know your crazies very well. It's a shame because they know you. Okay, so what have I learned? Don't collect bones. Don't dress up as my mother. Check and check. So far, so good. And now, Foog me, no fugu. Hey Nate, I've decided to make you dinner. Do you like fish?
I mostly only eat chicken fingers.
Oh, you'll love it. It's called fugu.
Isn't that the highly toxic Japanese fish that if not cooked exactly right ends up killing people?
And there's no known antidote. Yes, this is going to be great. What part of the fugu fish is most toxic, and thus I shouldn't, accidentally serve it to Nate so he'll eat it and die? Wink, wink. The fins, the liver, the eyes, or the skin? No, traditionally the fugu skin is put into a salad. Fish skin salad. This would have been a good idea. Although most of the internal organs are toxic, the liver is generally considered the worst. Totally unrelated. Here, Nate, have some liver-shaped food. So, how was it?
Sorry, Cookie. It looked gross, so I fed it to my parrot.
The one that just got over the mumps? And coming up next, Assassination.
Cookie, there's a Sergeant Raymond Shaw here to see you.
Oh, great. He's the Manchurian Candidate.
I never saw that movie.
Excellent. There is a special signal that I can flash to the Manchurian Candidate to make him assassinate Nate. Considering what the signal is in the original 1962 movie, what should I flash? A peace sign, the Queen of Diamonds, a pocket watch. In the Manchurian Candidate novel and original 62 movie, Sergeant Raymond Shaw was triggered to action by a Queen of Diamonds. Like this one.
Cookie, why are you holding up the Queen of Hearts?
What? Damn it, where's the Queen of Diamonds?
By the way, I was playing 52-card pickup earlier, and I think I lost a few of the cards.
This is getting ridiculous. Now coming up, a final going-away gift. You know, Aristotle once called a particular mammal the beast which passes all others in wits and mind. Now, I've actually got this mammal hidden in a box in the control room with witless Nate. Hey, Nate, do you see that box?
Yeah, how'd I miss it? It's giant.
Uh-huh, great. Now just stand right in front of it and shut up while I ask this question. Which animal did the philosopher Aristotle call the beast which passes all others in wit and mind? The dolphin, the giraffe, the elephant, or the Tyrannosaurus Rex? You kidding? Every dolphin I've ever met is a complete moron. And the correct answer is... Even in early Greece, Aristotle revered the elephants, much as we revere elephants today by making them wear tutus and balance on one leg while clowns ride on them. Okay, it's go time. Now, Tiny, attack!
Ah! Cookie, help! It's an elephant! It's going to crush me! Ah! Ha, ha! Ah!
What's that, Nate? I'm sorry, I couldn't quite make out what you were saying on the intercom there. You know, I've always hated that intercom. Nate? Nate? Ah, yes, it is done. I'm finally free. Okay, moving on. And up next... Well, somebody's in a hurry. Okay then, I'll dance on your grave. I certainly feel like dancing, but where? Good luck. Yeah, I know I'm supposed to come up with some snarky insult for you here, but I'm sorry. I'm just enjoying the silence caused by the untimely, accidental trampling of Nate the intern.
Cookie, do you have a second?
Ah! Nate's ghost! Get back! Look, I'm sorry. The elephant was an accident. I never...
That's what I wanted to talk to you about, Cookie. I wanted to thank you for introducing me to Tiny. I know this is crazy, but I think we're in love. We're gonna go off and start a life together. Get married, have a couple of baby people elephants. We call them peepaphants. We're gonna name them Tinier, because they'll most likely be tinier than Tiny. It made sense at the time. We're gonna be so happy. And you're invited to the wedding.
Wow. Nate, that's great. I'm really happy for you. Whew, okay, didn't expect that. Well, what can I say? Congratulations. Boy, tying the old knot, huh? Are you registered anywhere?
Yeah, Home Depot. We could really use a ladder.
You got it, Nate. Have a nice life.